How do I film an intro again? Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome back to my channel. And I guess I can kind of welcome myself back too, because I have not been on here for going on it'll be 2 years, I think, in March. So welcome to myself. It feels good to be back. I have been wanting to do this for so long. And I actually have been filming, but I haven't posted anything just because I'm not sure how I'm going to be received after being away for so long. But I can get into that during this video because I have a lot of things to catch you up with. And there's just been a lot the last almost 2 years since I have been away. And I'm kind of thinking maybe this is a good time to not only do like a refresh on my channel, but maybe like a restart or a do-over or whatever, kind of like a rebrand. So I am playing around with changing my channel name, and I'll get into why I am contemplating that here later. But for this video, as you see, the title is Lasagna and Cheesecake. And so today I'm going to be sharing with you this amazing recipe. It's a it's a no water bath cheesecake. And yes, it is made in the oven, but it is like, it's very time consuming, but it is just delish, like hands down the best cheesecake I have ever made. Now, typically when I find a recipe, I try it, I follow the recipe to a T, and then I always tweak it. But this one, I have never tweaked. There's absolutely no need to tweak this recipe. It is perfect. I will leave it linked down below. I got it off Pinterest. I can't remember off the top of my head the lady's name whose page it came off of, but amazing. I can't wait to try her other cheesecakes. But because this takes so long to do, I haven't tried the other flavors yet, so I will get to that. But the reason why we are doing cheesecake today is because it is my daughter's 24th birthday coming up next week, probably around the time that you're seeing this. Her birthday is January 6th. And quite a few years ago, her birthday meal of choice was lasagna. And then she doesn't like cake. She liked cookies or, other treats for her birthday. So she loved cheesecake. So one year I made a cheesecake and she fell in love. So from then on, it was always lasagna and cheesecake for her birthday. So she is coming home. I am filming this on January 1st. She and her fiance are coming home tomorrow night to celebrate their birthdays because they are only 4 days apart. So I am going to take today to make the cheesecake because I said before it takes so long, and I'm gonna share that recipe with you. If you hear little clicking noises in the background, it's my dog walking, and he desperately needs his nails cut. I hate to do it because he acts like he's being murdered. So I leave it till like the very last, like until I cannot take it anymore. But anyways, so with that, I'm going to show you the ingredients that you're going to need for this, and then while I'm making the cheesecake, we will do a little chit chat and I will catch you up with what has been going on in my life. So let me get all the ingredients for you. Okay, for this recipe, you are going to need 5 blocks of cream cheese, 4 eggs, a stick of butter, sugar, 1.5 cups or 300 grams of sugar, vanilla, sour cream, and of course your graham crackers for your crust. I will again have the recipe and measurements linked down below. All right, so I'm gonna get my apron on, grab my stand mixer, and bring it over to the island so I can kind of show you how it's all put together. And I have the recipe here on my phone, so I will be following that to a T. Let's hope I can chit chat with you while following this recipe. Fingers crossed. All right, so preheat the oven to 350. First going to crush the graham crackers, which I need, how many? 1 1/4 cup. I'm gonna use a little bit more just because I want a thicker crust that goes kind of up the sides of the pan. Okay, I just measured out my butter and I told you a stick of butter. It isn't a stick. It is 5 tablespoons, roughly around 71 to 76 grams. And on the scale here, it is showing 74 grams. I also have my graham crackers crushed up, 1 1/2 cups of that. I got my springform pan. This is a 9-inch pan. All right, so in the mixing bowl, we're gonna dump the graham crackers, the sugar, and the melted butter. And we're just gonna give this a good stir. Now, normally I can multitask and I've been really good at it. However, lately, now that I'm in my 40s, I'm having a little bit harder time with that. So I will try my hardest to do that. This part should be pretty easy. But yeah, so as I was saying, the last couple years I've been, I want to say couple, even though it's not quite been 2 years, have been absent. I feel so bad about it too, and I could have made a community post, but I don't know. It just kind of spiraled out of control, and I woke up one morning with a bloodshot eye back in, I think, March of 23, 24, I don't know. At this point, I'd have to go back and look at my last video. And I thought I had pink eye, and I went to the doctor. Of course, I woke up on a Saturday. First of all, here's how it's looking. So nice and crumbly. I'm gonna stick that into my springform pan. Like so. I want to get all that out. Okay. So anyways, I had to wait until the weekend was over so I could see the doctor, and I thought it was pink eye. It turns out it wasn't pink eye. And man, this could be a really long story, but I'm gonna try so hard to not make it super long. So after that, or after this, I'm just gonna switch my spoon to a cup. You want a flat bottom cup to kind of press this down and then work it, which takes a little bit of time, but up the sides of the pan. But anyway, so they thought, oh yeah, just a viral or a bacterial infection. So they put me on antibiotic drops and oral antibiotics, and anyways, it cleared up. And then when I went off the medication, it came back. Anyways, so I did this dance with the doctors. I saw several doctors at this time, and just nothing was getting resolved. So again, this was like March. I want to make sure it's all even here. I don't feel like it is. There we go. Yeah, you want to get this bottom as even as you possibly can. Anyway, so this brings me up to June, where I have been doing this dance of different antibiotics. Oh, you can't see me. Different antibiotics and steroid drops and all this stuff. And at this point, I pulled the plug and I said, you know what, my eye is just gonna do what it's gonna do. And if it heals, you know, your body is a miracle. It can heal itself, right? Yeah, wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Okay. So this is how it's looking. It doesn't have to be like super perfect around the edges, just as long as they are pushed up the sides of the pan. So then we're just gonna put this in the oven for 7 minutes. And look who's here. Hi. This is Little Bear. He loves to be in the kitchen with Mom. Oh, and we got Cocoa Puff. Hi, guys. Oh, you guys look so cute. Okay. So I got my oven preheated to 350. Watch out, Little Bear. Beep, beep. And we're gonna put this in, we're gonna put this in the center, and we're gonna put it on for 7 minutes. Okay. Okay, so the whole summer went by, and I dealt with this bloodshot eye, and my lid was swollen and red or pink really. So I just didn't wear eye makeup and just felt really insecure about how I was looking, because you know, it's on your face. Your eyes are like one of the first things people see, right? So then in the fall, I went back to this one doctor, and he was like, oh yeah, it's just allergies, because he asked me a bunch of questions. And of course I live in the country on a farm, and I garden flowers, vegetables, and all sorts of stuff. So, and we have a lot of yard to mow. So it made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, it's just allergies. So he put me on Pat-a-Day drops, and it seemed to kind of clear up a little bit, but not really. The redness went down, but it didn't go away completely. So then later on in the fall, I think we're up to November now, I decided to switch doctors because the redness just wasn't going away and it was getting worse. So I went to a doctor that I originally had my very first appointment with, but for some reason I couldn't keep the appointment. I don't know if it was, you know, it was in March, so I think it was like a snowstorm or something. And so I went to this doctor, and he was really confused as to what was going on because it was only in the one eye. It wasn't in both, and it never transferred to this eye. So he brought in one of his other colleagues, and they both examined me, and they were stumped, so they referred to their books and medical books, and I think they knew what it was, but they didn't tell me at that point. So they put me on an antiviral, and it started to clear up, but it wasn't quite gone. So they put me on another round. So it was two rounds of like 10 days of antivirals, and it went away. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So at that point in time, I picked up my camera, started filming again, and then it came back. And gosh, let me see, where am I? So around this time, my grandma was in hospice care. She was 101, and so doing a lot of crying and stuff really aggravated my eye. I don't know why, but it did. So we had her funeral on Valentine's Day, and I was already kind of sick, but the eye was really bad. So I started using Lumify drops because I knew I was going to be doing a lot of crying, and it didn't work. My eye just looked horrific. So shortly after that, you know, after a couple more rounds of antivirals, it did go away. And then again, I picked up the camera, started filming, but didn't post anything because it came back again and blah, blah, blah. So this brings me up to this year in, I want to say beginning of September. It came back, but this time it came back with like the worst anger ever. It was so bad. I don't even know if I feel comfortable sharing photos. If I do, I will insert them here. But it was a really bad eye infection, and This time I got a sty with it, and the sty is still here. But the sty was so big, my eyelid was so red and so swollen, I could barely open my eye. And it was the most humiliating, humbling experience ever because I still had to go out in public. And mind you, during the last year and a half of dealing with this, I really retreated from social settings. I didn't go out with my friends. I didn't really want to be in public because one, I looked so tough. Two, I couldn't wear eye makeup, so I didn't feel very confident. Not that you need to, you know, wear makeup to feel confident, but for me, I like wearing a little bit of mascara and a teeny bit of eyeliner, just for definition, and it makes me feel confident. So, you know, you do you, I'll do me. But yeah, it was, and still is, it's an ongoing battle. So in September then I finally asked him point blank, like, what do I have? What is this? And he told me I have HSV, which is a simplex 1. So it's like a cold sore virus, and I've never ever had a cold sore. My ex-husband always had them chronically growing up, and so did one of his sisters. So I think just, you know, being in a relationship with him for like 20 years, I was bound to get some type of cold sore. And for me, it entered into my eye. And what happens is the virus lives up in your brain. And when you're stressed, or you have an illness, or you have hormonal changes, hello, in perimenopause, it can come out of dormancy, but it can lay dormant for decades. And that's what it did for me. And so, yes, I was very happy to get that diagnosis, but it was like a kick in the stomach knowing that this is something I'm going to have the rest of my life, and I'm going to have to deal with this. So, gosh, yeah. All right. So anyways, let me just wrap this up quick. So the sty is still not gone. I still can't open my eye completely. I had another attack right before Christmas here, so I am now on my second round of antivirals, and I'm doing a steroid drop, to like a certain kind of steroid drop to help with the inflammation under my eyelid, because he said it underneath it's really red, swollen, and full of nodules. So hopefully I have 10 days of that, and it clears up. If not, I might have to have that cyst or sty cut out, which is, oh, there's 7. Have I been rambling on for 7 minutes? Holy moly. Okay. All right, she doesn't look any different, but she's done, so I'm gonna set her aside and cool. Anyways, so because this virus lives inside my head, it shouldn't ever go to my other eye, which, you know, thank God, right? So I can wear makeup. He gave me the green light to wear makeup. It shouldn't affect it at all. The other problem I have is it's super blurry. Like, you just smeared Vaseline or coconut oil all over your eyeball, and that's really hard. That's been really difficult. And the more I use my eye, like moving around or shopping, the blurrier it gets. So he said once my eye heals completely, the stem cells will start to rebuild the surface of my eye, and my vision should come back. I'm really hoping it does. So with that, that is why I have been away from YouTube for so very long, because I couldn't be on camera. And not like I needed to be on camera, but like, you know, when I'm doing decorating and such, yeah, and it was very noticeable. Like, it wasn't something that I could hide or cover up, because like I said, I couldn't wear makeup, I thought. But anyways, yeah, so now that I officially have the diagnosis and I have a treatment plan, I'm also meeting with my primary care provider so she can, my eye doctor thinks I'm a good candidate for a low dose indefinite time frame for this antiviral, just to help keep it at bay. So I meet with her next week, and as you're watching this week, and I hope I get some good news and see what she has to say. But yeah, let's get back to cheesecake, shall we? So I got my mixer out, and let's see here. We're gonna start adding all the wet ingredients. So let's do, we mix the cream cheese. Oh, just the cream cheese. Mix that for 30 seconds until smooth. And then we add the sugar and the sour cream and the vanilla. And lastly, we'll add the eggs. And the thing about the blurriness in the eye, like I have readers, as you can see, because I can't see close up. I have, my distance vision is completely fine. Well, fine. But even with the blurriness, the eyeglasses don't help correct that. It's just the surface of my eye is so damaged from this reoccurring infection that I just have to be patient, because it's been going on almost 2 years since I started with this infection. It is gonna take a long time for my eye to heal, my doctor said. So I can't even do like a regular eye exam or like get prescription glasses if I wanted to or needed to. But I can't even get my vision tested because the results would be skewed because of the blurriness. So it is what it is. And I just I trudge on. Okay, I'm gonna scrape the sides down here. Okay, so now let's get back to the recipe. We add in the sugar, sour cream, and vanilla. So, see, I made a huge, huge mistake. I put the sugar in the crust. Was I not supposed to do that? Yes, I was. Okay, so how much sugar? Okay, granulated sugar to sweeten the crust and filling. Okay. Yeah, I did it wrong. Oh my God. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to redo that crust. So, you know what? On second thought, I think I'm gonna make another one. Just to kind of test out, right? I don't want to throw this out. So instead of using the cup and a half of sugar in the crust, oh my God, that's going to be so sweet. You're only supposed to use 4 tablespoons, right? And 1 1/4 cup of sugar for the filling. So yeah, I told you I cannot multitask. Wow. But actually, I just pulled up the actual recipe. I had a cheat kind of recipe in my notes, and I didn't have the sugar divided in my notes. So I guess that's shame on me. But anyways, okay, so we're gonna do one more crust really quick. So I'm gonna put this aside for right now before I add any other ingredients. And we're gonna make, oh, we can't make 2 cheesecakes because I only have, oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna have to consult ChatGPT on this and see if this is okay. My cheesecake recipe called for 4 tablespoons of sugar for the graham cracker crust. I used 1.5 cups of sugar. Should I omit sugar from the cream cheese filling, or should I add a little bit of sugar to the filling?
Oh wow, that is quite a bit of sugar in the crust. Generally, if you've already added a large amount to the crust, you can definitely reduce or even omit the sugar in the cream cheese filling. The filling typically needs some sweetness, but you could go with a smaller amount, maybe half or even 1/4 of what you'd normally add. so that the overall sweetness balances out. Just taste as you go and you'll be all set.
Okay, it won't make the crust flaky or fall apart?
In most cases, the crust should still hold up just fine. The graham cracker crumbs and the butter are the main binding agents, and the sugar is more for sweetness and a bit of texture. So as long as you've got enough butter to hold it together, it should be fine. Just keep an eye on the texture when you press it into the pan.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Wow, I screwed up the crust. All right, so I think I'm just going to reduce the sugar in the cream cheese filling to half, and we're just gonna have an extra sweet crust. Fingers crossed it isn't overly sweet, but yeah, we're gonna go with that. Well, you live and learn, I guess. Next time I make a baking video or a cooking video, I will make sure to have all my ingredients measured out ahead of time. It's like I've never seen a cooking show before, you know? Like, why wouldn't I do that anyways? But it's all right. It's gonna turn out delicious anyways. We need a half a cup of sour cream and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Also, I need to crack the eggs in a separate bowl and whisk them up before I add to this. So I'm gonna do that really fast. All right, that's pretty good and whisked up. All right, with the mixer on slow, I'm just going to slowly add the eggs. All right, we will scrape one last time. Give it one more good mix. And then to get the air bubbles out. All right, so we're just gonna tap to release all the air bubbles. We definitely don't want any air bubbles in there because if we have them, then that means it could potentially crack the top of the cheesecake while it's baking. And we want a nice, smooth cheesecake. You can see all the little air bubbles coming to the surface. And you just want to continually do this until you don't see any more air bubbles. I'm just taking a knife and popping all the air bubbles now. They are being rather stubborn today, not wanting to release. So, just going to help them out a bit. Of course, I only make this cheesecake once a year. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm going to pour this in now. Very, very slowly. Now just to smooth out. All right, in she goes. So you want to bake this at 325 for 30 minutes. And then at the end of 30 minutes, you want to, without opening the oven, you want to reduce the temperature to 250 and then continue cooking for another 45 minutes. Once that is done, then you want to turn the oven off and keep the cheesecake in there for another 30 minutes. Don't open the door. And then after that 30 minutes, you can crack the oven open and let the cheesecake cool slowly for 1 hour before, before removing it from the oven. So then you bring the cheesecake to room temperature on the counter for 3 to 4 hours before you put it in the fridge. So like I said in the beginning, it is a super simple recipe, but it is very time consuming. You do have to babysit this one. So that is done now. Going to put everything away, do a little clean up. Yeah, and then let's see, I gotta catch you up with what's been going on in the family. So let me do a little cleaning here first, and then we will sit down with a cup of coffee. I need my 3rd cup today. I've already had my 2. Actually, I had 1.5 cups. It got cold, and if I'm not in the mood for cold coffee, I just dump it. So I'm gonna get some fresh coffee here after I whip up these dishes. It is 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock on the dot. And so it's getting dark here already. Not like getting dark, but like the light is dimmed just because it's that time of year. But anyways, so monumental events that has happened in the past couple years here. One, last spring we had my husband's oldest daughter, Lily, one of my stepdaughters, graduate from high school. So that was a really fun day, and it was a beautiful day. Oh, backing up, the girls had their prom. We had a senior and a junior last year doing prom. And yeah, that was a beautiful day. We had couples come over and they did photographs in our backyard. We have a white plum tree in the backyard, and it looks just like it gives off very Bridgerton vibes. So it was like the perfect backdrop. Even though not everything was in full bloom, that tree was blooming its head off. Like it was glorious. So we got some pretty nice pictures for them. And then later on that month, Lily graduated. She ended up moving up to a town like 2 hours north of where we're living. She moved in with her boyfriend, and so they have a dog. It was his dog, which reminds me so much of our little Bella. Well, not little, she was big. We called her Big Girl or Bella Bear. She was a golden retriever, and their dog is a golden retriever too. Doesn't shed as much though, which is strange because Bella shed like no other. I can't say it here on YouTube, but she shed really bad. Yeah, so okay, as I'm cleaning, I can talk and clean at the same time, right? Maybe I can multitask, maybe I can't. After the whole cheesecake debacle, I mean, we don't know if it's going to turn out or if it's going to be a disaster, but I mean, come on. I think it's not up for debate anymore if I can multitask or not. It's not. So, then, my brother and his wife had their first baby. They had a little girl in the beginning of May. So she, Elizabeth is her name. She's the cutest, happiest baby I've ever met. Like, I raised my kids, and of course, you know, you're biased as a parent, but like, my daughter was good as gold, like just the best tempered baby. My son, on the other hand, was a little bit more challenging. But Donna was, as good as she was very somber. She was a very serious child. But Ellie, they call her Ellie for short, she is just the happiest, like the happiest baby I've ever seen. Like, you walk in the room and she sees you and she locks eyes with you and she just gives you the biggest smile and she's so excited to see you. Oh, just melts my heart. I just love that little girl. So yeah, this was her first Christmas, and that was really fun. We got to have her on Christmas, which was great. Sadly, they will not be here tomorrow night. but that's okay. They have other family that they have to go visit and spend Christmas time with, and do their family Christmas with. Let's see, so she was born in May, then the girls had prom in May, and Lily graduated the end of May. Summer went by too fast. I got 2 new garden beds that my husband Josh made for me. One was like not quite half planted up, and the other one was like I was just starting to plant some perennials because that's going to be a shade garden. So I'll insert some clips here or pictures of that. So I have more plans for those, and then the main circle garden that I always have, that was blooming like crazy, and a lot of my annuals from previous years reseeded, so I didn't have to buy any annual flowers, and they were just like, they were all over the garden. I wanted to revamp that garden this year, but I saw them blooming and I just didn't have the heart to pull them out. And so they put on quite the show this last summer. It was really fun to see. So, okay, let me go put these away. Hold on. So let's see. So one of the big things is last December, my daughter got engaged. And so they are planning their wedding for this spring. And that's going to be, I don't know, that's just going to be really fun because it's my first kid getting married, and it's such a huge event and big occasion. So we're excited about that and excited to have a daughter-in-law. It's so crazy to think about. It's like 4 months away. So, and then in May this year, then my husband's youngest daughter, Josie, my stepdaughter, graduates from high school. So we have the wedding and then the graduation, and it's gonna be a crazy couple months, but we'll get through it. That's just how things kind of happen in our family. There's like this lull, and then bam, 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 bam. We have all these events going on. Anyways, I'm gonna keep clearing the table here. Never mind, the cheesecake is done. Let's go take it out of the oven. Ooh, she looks good. Put the hair out of the way. Look at that. Not a single crack. Oh yeah, I guess the other thing is, which I don't know if I was videoing when we let this table go. It was about 2 years ago, so maybe not, I guess. But yeah, and anyways, we were without a dining room table for the last 2 years. We gave this to my parents when they moved into their new house. They had a bigger dining space for it, and we were ready for something different, and we never found a table that we loved. And we'd shop here and there and everything, but never found anything. So my mom decided that even though it worked in her house, it still was a little bit big. Our dining room is only got just a little bit of wall space, and it's open to the rest of the house or the living area, and hers had more walls, and so it felt a little more enclosed. So she decided that she was ready to part with it. So we got this back this year, right before Thanksgiving. And yeah, so that was quite the last 2 years trying to figure out what to do with this space. I wasn't sure if I wanted it to be like an office, a formal like entryway, like gathering space, kind of like a hello goodbye area. And I'll insert some pictures of how I decorated this space the last couple of years, because I document everything, even though I didn't share it with you guys. But yeah, it feels really nice to have it back. And I don't have a whole lot of tablecloths for her. I mean, I have a few, but This one I borrowed from my mom for Christmas. It is so pretty. It's got gold stitching in it, and it's so pretty. I love it. But because we're having lasagna and tomato sauce, I am not going to put a tablecloth on her for this meal because I am not going to stain anything. I can't. So easy to wipe off a wood table versus trying to remove a stain from a cloth. I want to do a centerpiece, like a center or a tablescape. However, I have an idea because there's so much red in these Christmas trees. I wanted to do like pink roses, but that won't work. That will definitely not coincide with the red going on. So I think I'm gonna stop at the dollar store tomorrow and maybe see if they have some red roses, and then I'll cut them up and put them in little bud vases and scatter down the center. I don't know if I'm gonna do a runner. I'm not sure yet. So I'll work on that with you guys tomorrow before they get here, or maybe even have them help me decorate. But Donna and Gabby, that is. And then I will be taking down all my Christmas decor probably next week-ish, I'm thinking. I usually leave it up, of course, through my daughter's birthday, like I said before. And we are in the dark months, so it's really nice to have those cozy, warm lights on around you. And of course, my son, he still lives with us. He would love it if I left all of the Christmas decor up pretty much all year round. He has a Christmas tree in his bedroom, and it is up all year round. We've had to get external lights to put on it because, of course, you know, the lights burn out when they're pre-lit. So yeah, but I will be ready probably next week to start tearing stuff down, and I will be sharing that with you guys too, and chit-chatting some more, because I'm sure I'll remember some more things that have happened in the past couple of years. But yeah, so I will be picking up the camera tomorrow. You guys will see this here in a second. And yeah, and then of course you guys will see the house decorated the way it is this year. As I'm taking stuff down, I didn't get to a holiday home tour this year. I thought I was going to, but I still have to go around for myself and take pictures of everything and a video of the house, how it is. I like to do that and then store it into a folder on my phone so I can refer back to it, you know, previous years, see how I decorated, what's changed, what I maybe want to do different. So I will be sharing that with you, like a little mini house tour, as I take stuff down in the next week. So anyways, I could keep rambling, but I'm going to pick this up tomorrow. Good morning. So it is the next day. It is just a hair before 10 a.m. I got ready really quick, and I am going to zoom to town and pick up the last few items for the birthday supper tonight. And then when I get back, I have to tidy up the house, clean the kitchen again, and I have to take a shower. And it's hair wash day, so it's an everything shower, which is going to suck a lot of my time. So hopefully I have some time left to do the tablescape with you if I can find some flowers at the dollar store. So I will see you guys in a few hours, and you will see me here in just another second. All right, I am showered and ready to go. I got my stuff laid out on the table here that I want to decorate the tablescape with. It is now 3:26, and the girls said they'll be here around 4. So let me show you what I have on hand and then what I picked up really fast. So these are the bud vases that I do have. I do have 2 of these, and I just can't find where I stashed the other one. Normally I keep them in a closet downstairs with all my everyday decor, and it wasn't there. So we're just gonna go with it. And then I pulled this little table scarf. I know it is white, and that is a little bit of a risk, but they're cheap to replace if it does get stained. And then on this end of the table, I did pick up some red and white roses at the dollar store. So I'm going to cut these up and place them in the bud vases. And then these 3 I found at the thrift store. They were each 99 cents, so good deal, and I can reuse them. And of course the deer, I'm not sure what I'm going to do with them. I might still place them on the table because they are cute. And then for the buffet, I already took everything down. I laid a runner on top, and then I'm going to switch out that candle. That is the candle warmer I got for Christmas from the girls. And it actually works wonderful. It smells so good. That's my favorite candle. However, it's not going to really go with tonight's Italian theme. So okay, it's not completely the way I wanted it to be, but I really gotta just be happy with what it is for right now. Move these toothpicks and get going on the sauce and start that lasagna because my daughter just texted and she and Gabby are on their way out. So I gotta clean this up quick and get supper going. last night as I crawled into bed after I'd washed all my makeup off that I forgot to close out this video. So I'm doing that now this morning. It is the next day. I got the house all cleaned, so now it is time to just relax and coast with some coffee. Everybody was up and about and left the house, so I got the house to myself, which is a rarity. So I'm just going to kick back with the dogs, get some snuggles in, watch some TV, and just, who knows, maybe take a nap. But I just wanted to say thank you guys for watching this video. And next week, or actually this week, I'm going to be taking down all my Christmas decor. I wanted to wait a little bit, but we have warm temperatures here in the 20s, so this is a good time to do it. You know, hauling or transporting totes back and forth from the house to the holiday shed is, you know, ideal in this kind of weather. I'm not going to wait because I don't know what next week's going to bring. It could be, you know, in the negative. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it, even though I'm not quite ready. I know my husband's ready to get the house back in order, so I will start that this week, bring you along with me while I do that. So again, thank you for watching this video and welcoming me back, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!